Hi everybody. One thing that somehow didn't get videoed even though I thought I was videoing it was you want to put your little white sprinkles on this long piece on page 1 on the green piece. So put that in a box, use your white gloss spray and sprinkle it all to make it look like snow. All right. So you sort of saw the finished product there because I had to tell you about sprinkling that piece with the gloss spray. But now we're working on doing some detailing on the borders, on the circle, on the hearts, on the tabs. And this is going to be super, super easy, but it really will add a nice look to it. So just go ahead on all of these and do one outline except for the circle. When I ran around the circle about 3 times, because that's kind of what that looked like they did on the page, just to add a sort of a messy look. So just go over it now. This is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be hand drawn. So do not freak out on that. You do not need to make it perfect. And all the rest of them too. It's just a nice, easy line. And, you know, I mess up on them all the time. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to look messy. It's still that kind of handmade look, right? So just do all around the edges. And then on the tabs, you don't need to do the bottom whatsoever because that is going to be butted up right against your mats. So, and same with those borders, just the outside edge. And then the hearts, I did just slightly a little bit more inside. And I used my piercing tool to hold that down because I didn't want to touch the wet white pen as I was using it. And I also didn't want to mess it up, and I wanted to hold it to hold still. So now, this is important. If you're going to use your black cardstock that I recommended you buy, you're going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of each edge. Now, do not do just 2 sides, because we want that middle piece, you know, that middle look, the design, to be even once you've cut it. So just 1/8 of an inch off of each side is what you're looking for. And you can see I'm having to cut twice because my stupid table's uneven. So 1/8 of an inch off of each edge. Now, if you'll notice, I've got both the sheets there, so I can do it all at once, right? So that'll make it so they're both ready. All right, now get your black cardstock and put your glue on your printed paper, that check, that's so cute, that check, and just center it. And that gives it such a nice finished look there. Because sometimes the checks, and I did notice this was true about this, sometimes the checks are kind of uneven, a little bit shorter on one side than the other. So this black cardstock gives a nice finished edge. All right, now, there's your sprinkle piece. You're putting it on your white glitter. And we're going to put this about 2 inches up. At first I was thinking I was going to need to put a pencil mark here, but the truth is my ruler is exactly 2 inches. So I figured that out after a second. Turned the page and just put my clear ruler down at the bottom edge. And then you just make the this piece all nice and centered. I don't even remember how many inches from the edge or how many parts of an inch from the edge. I just centered it on my ruler there. And we're going to add in the mats and your photo placeholders here, or your photos. Now remember, these layouts will be so much easier if you already have your photos. Now, if you know, are doing what I'm doing this year, which is this is going to be for my Christmas pictures this year, since all my other Christmas pictures are either done or they're with the paper and the layouts that I want to use on them already. This is going to be for this year, so I lost my train of thought. Anyway, put your mats down in the middle and maybe it'll come back to me. Is that crazy? See, this is the second time I've done this recording. First time I did it, it was perfect. It was spot on. And then when I went to hit save, it didn't save. And so I'm having to do the whole thing over. So I'm a little flustered now. So these are 1/8 of an inch apart. And then the first one was, let me see, I believe 3/8 of an inch from the green. So definitely measure it from the green and not from the glitter paper there. And that will make it nice and even across. Okay, So Christmas pictures. Let me see if I can think what I was saying. This year, anyway, I'm going to be taking tons and tons of pictures because I am finding that when I do my layouts ahead of time, I don't have the pictures in all the right directions, right? I don't have enough horizontal, or I don't have enough big ones, or I don't have enough ones that are a little bit further away so that they can be cut small. But I did just buy a printer, which is coming today, and I'm hoping that that's going to help me a lot because I'll be able to print in the size I need. But if you can't, then take a big variety, and you're going to get so much more to work with once you sit down and do this. But if you can, and you already have your photos, use them as you are doing this layout, okay? So on that little piece, that border, I wanted it to not touch my photo, so I put foam tape down but didn't take the backing off on the left-hand side, and I took the backing off on the right-hand side, so that went right over that circle for that Winter Wonderland piece. The date I put straight down onto the circle, and now I'm putting a little bit of foam tape for that heart, just on the left-hand side, because it kind of leaned against the date and the circle. They were kind of added an extra thickness to that area. So I only needed to put foam tape on the left-hand side of the heart. Now we're going to do the title, and I'm using a lot because I don't like my my stickers to sink down in the middle. So I really filled that up, and I didn't take the backing off yet because now I want to see where my borders are going to go. And so I'm going to actually put all of these border pieces together. They're not border. What do they call them? Pennants? No. Banners. So I wanted to put all these banners together in a piece, and then I marked it about where it's going to go. I used the title to figure out where those would sit by using that little point on the bottom of the title to point to the center of the center photo mat. See that? And then everything lined up nicely. So you don't even have to measure there, you're just going to put it in the center. And now we'll decorate with some hearts, and I'm using foam tape on those. And that's pretty simple. I just cut a piece of foam tape in half to fit it into these little pieces. Let's see how much better that looks with that detailing. Just a little bit of white pen on there. Now we're going to do the banner, and I kind of messed it up the first time through, so I recommend you do the two outside banner pieces first and really pay attention to where they are going on the page, because if you'll see, that brown piece is supposed to be lined up against with that first kind of bump on the scalloped design. And I should have used my green piece next and put that where it's supposed to go, which is kind of on that second bump on the, or kind of in between the second and third bump there on that scallop piece, and then put my red in. But instead, my green went way over into the checked, and I didn't like it, so I moved it to where it was supposed to go and then had to remove my red piece there. All right, and let me see. I think that's it for page 1. Except we need to do just a little bit of our stickles. And I decided to do the heart. There wasn't too many things on here that would work well with stickles. I would say either the black hearts, if you've got white stickles, outline the black hearts again, where you outlined them in pen. And if you have clear stickles like me, I decided to do the brown heart, which I think is going to look really good once that all dries, because that will dry clear. All right, now we're done on that, and let's do page 2. Same thing. Now remember, you've already cut this black check paper down, and so that's going to go right in the center of the black for that nice framed look. Yeah, I used a lot of adhesive, but I get it as a discount, so. All right, get that centered in there. And now these are going to be a little bit different kind of mats. These are going to be long ones. And normally they tell us where the tipping is on these at the top and the bottom. But this time they didn't. They just give us a measurement at the top. And so I just marked it there at 2 inches down, 3 inches in. and that will just be the spot for my left corner. Now, what I did was to kind of look down at the bottom where the ruffle, the scallop is, and I matched the bottom corner to where I thought the scallop was supposed to, you know, where it is on the picture. And that, you know, but it doesn't matter too much, you know, as long as your pictures are going to show okay. So left corner goes on the dot, and the bottom corner was like into between the second and the third ruffle down there, right there. And then go ahead and put your mat together for the second one. And this one goes 2 3/4 down and 1 1/2 in for the upper right hand point. Now you notice I didn't put glue on the lower left of this mat. That's because it's going to overlap. So if you can see there, as we're looking at it, it's on the upper right, but it's really the lower left of that mat that has no glue. And I make my little mark here, and that way when I layer it over, it's not going to actually stick to it, which is going to be important because later I'm putting my photo placeholders in too late. So I was able to slip that under. But so this is the moment where you want to pause and put your photos on or put your photo placeholders in, because I forgot and we had to do them a little bit later. And then you can go ahead and start with those tabs, stick those up at the top, and I will decorate. So pause it if you haven't already put your photos or your photo placeholders in. And let's continue on. We're going to put the banners up. Now this banner wasn't as important. It doesn't, it kind of was a little fly-by-night up there, I see, the way they did it. There wasn't quite a rhyme or reason on this border on this page. So it just basically kind of overlaps your upper left of that mat and then put the other two on there. So not quite as important as the first one. And I did use foam tape on all of these. There you go. All right, sticker time. We got some big stickers for this. It's a big old Christmas tree sticker, slightly tipped. It looks like it's about 4 scallops down. I think I put it a little bit high there, but it doesn't matter. And then this one, I put the foam tape on the right-hand side without taking off the backing, because that's going to lay over the photo. And then I put a couple pieces on that I will take off the backing because they're going to stick kind of over that Christmas tree piece. So remember the right-hand side in the back of this piece will have a foam tape with the backing left on. And then here we got the journaling piece. This I also foam taped because the wreath was already up high. So this needs to go up high too. So you might want to do your journaling first. It makes it a little bit easier than trying to do that when it's kind of puffed up there. All right, you see I didn't put my photo placeholders on. So on this last sticker, I put the foam tape below the mat, or even right on that mat, but below where the photos will be. And then I put my sticker on. That made it so that I knew for sure nothing was going to stick to that. And then I started to do my stickles, and as I'm in the middle of doing all these, just the little bulbs, Christmas bulbs, I put a dot on each. I suddenly realized, oh, I forgot my little photo placeholders, so I better put those on. And now the Christmas tree is wet, so you have to be careful. But this will prove that the way I did the tape and keeping the adhesive off of the mats, I was able to slip this in. So I went under the sticker, which was held up on that photo tape or the pop tape, and then I had not put tape on the lower left of that mat, so I was able to slip those in. So you already stopped and put your photos in or your photo mats in. So there's me doing mine. Yes, I am sometimes out of order. So I'll be taking a lot of vertical photos, I think, for this set of pages. Right? That's 7. All right, there you go.